Every relationship creates a shared space, a place where identity, attachment, and individuality begin to overlap. But connection was never meant to erase who you are. In Relational Gravity, we explore the psychology behind closeness and how me and we can exist at the same time without either one disappearing. We often think integration is the end of a journey, a moment where everything finally settles into balance. But psychologically, integration is not an ending. Integration is a way of moving, a way of existing where individuality and connection no longer feel like opposing forces. In the last episode, we explored differentiation, the space where identity begins to breathe again inside the relationship. Tonight, we explore what happens after the breath returns. No resolution, but continuation. Many people imagine that once identity and partnership feel aligned, tension disappears. Balance is not stillness, it's motion. Two evolving individuals will never remain perfectly synchronized. Preferences change. Needs shift. Awareness deepens. And integration does not remove that movement. Integration simply changes how you relate to it. Instead of asking, "Are we the same?" the question becomes, "Can we move differently and still remain connected?" Identity is not a fixed destination. It expands with experience, contracts with uncertainty, and reshapes itself through every meaningful connection. Partnership does not stop that evolution. It amplifies it. Because when two lives intertwine, identity becomes relational, influenced by presence, shaped by interaction, and continuously renegotiated through awareness. Integration means accepting that neither me nor we remains static. Both are living systems, and living systems, they change. Through integration rarely feels like a dramatic experience. It looks ordinary from the outside. A conversation where disagreement doesn't threaten closeness. A moment of independence that doesn't create distance. Or a decision that reflects two perspectives without one disappearing. These moments, they may seem small, but psychologically, they represent a profound shift. Coexistence is not about avoiding tension. It is about allowing tension to exist without redefining connection. There is a subtle space that forms when individuality and partnership begin to move together. Not a gap, not a distance, but a shared psychological landscape where both identities remain visible. In that space, you don't need to constantly prove closeness, and you don't need to protect individuality through withdrawal. You simply exist, aware of yourself, aware of the bond, aware that both can expand at the same time. This is where integration lives. Integration does not live in perfection. Integration lives in the presence. Perhaps the deepest paradox of relationship psychology is this: the more clearly you know yourself, the less you need the relationship to define you. And the less the relationship defines you, the more freely you can choose it. Integration does not weaken attachment, it transforms it. Connection becomes less about certainty and more about willingness. A willingness to continue growing side by side, but never identical. As you listen, consider this. Do you feel connected because you are the same, or because you are both evolving? And when you imagine the future of your relationship, do you see stability or movement? When you think about yourself inside that future, do you feel smaller or more fully present? These questions don't ask for answers. They invite reflection. Integration doesn't arrive with a clear signal. There is no moment where identity stops shifting or partnership stops adapting. Instead, there is a quieter awareness. You no longer feel pulled between me and we. You feel both existing at the same time. Not perfectly balanced, but continuously adjusting. And perhaps that is what lasting connection truly is. Not the absence of tension, but the presence of awareness. There was never a need to choose between individuality and partnership. Only a need to understand how both identities move within the same space. Love does not ask you to disappear, and autonomy does not ask you to stand alone. Somewhere between closeness and selfhood, a quieter form of connection emerges. One where two people remain distinct, yet continue walking forward together. This is not because they have become the same, but rather because they have learned how to coexist without losing direction. Connection doesn't end here. It continues, shaped by awareness, guided by presence, and carried by two selves that remain fully alive inside the same story. And the space between me and we is where awareness lives. This is Relational Gravity, where two identities continue moving side by side.